Hello everyone. A warm welcome back to Stoic Echoes. Have you ever considered what drives someone to fixate on you, yearn for your attention, and suddenly recognize your value as if they just realized who they once mistreated? It's as if they suddenly perceive their toy in an entirely new way, now desperate for the connection they previously dismissed. It sounds like a fantasy, right? But it's not. This happens the moment you choose to sever the ties. When you stop satisfying their craving for validation and redirect the focus inward, something extraordinary transpires. It's not about disappearing from their life. It's about reclaiming your strength, allowing them to experience the emptiness your departure creates. Your presence wasn't merely convenient. It provided support, energy, and something ineffable they now can't do without. Imagine this. They go through their routine, but something feels off. The usual messages don't arrive, your voice no longer brings daily comfort, and their world feels colder, more desolate. In these silent moments, they start to realize how much they underappreciated your presence. They try to occupy their thoughts, but nothing fills the gap. Your absence becomes a reflection of all the ways they failed to cherish you, and reality strikes harder than they ever anticipated. As the saying goes, absence sharpens affection, presence strengthens it. By withdrawing, you allow them the space to genuinely feel the weight of your absence and comprehend what they've lost. It's a potent reminder that sometimes it's only in the void we leave that our true significance is deeply recognized. So, Stoic friends, let's affirm today, I am immensely valuable. Proclaim it confidently and share it in the comments. Let the world see that you are no longer anyone's puppet, no longer at anyone's whim. You've reclaimed your authority and now stand firm in your worth. Before we delve into why they come back once you've established distance, let's address the core of what we're about to explore. Trust me, this is something you won't want to miss because grasping this could transform everything for you. Imagine you've withdrawn, created that space. Is that sufficient? No, it's not solely about walking away. It's about turning your focus inward. If you believe that distance alone will make them long for you, reconsider. They may begin to miss your absence, but only if there was already an underlying spark in their heart. If they didn't appreciate you before, your absence may not evoke the effect you're hoping for. So, what's next? This isn't the end of the story. The reasons I'm about to share will make them start yearning for your presence. But these reasons only work if you wholeheartedly embrace them and allow them to guide you on the right course. The surprise of unforeseen growth. Let's begin with the first reason they'll start yearning for your presence. The surprise of unforeseen growth. When you step back and use that time to work on yourself, something profound occurs. You evolve. They expect you to remain the same, predictable and ever-present. But when they meet the new you, the one they barely recognize due to your remarkable growth, it stuns them. Growth is powerful because it dismantles their view of you. You're no longer the person they took for granted. By investing in your mental, physical, and emotional progress, you're not just changing. You're becoming someone they can no longer ignore. This transformation compels them to view you differently, leaving them struggling to keep up. As the philosopher Heraclitus once said, the only constant in life is change. By embracing change and prioritizing your growth, you become someone impossible to overlook, the magnetism of self-reliance. The second reason is the magnetism of self-reliance. When you develop self-reliance, you send a clear signal. I don't depend on you. I choose to be here. This mindset is attractive because it demonstrates that your happiness isn't tied to anyone else. People are naturally drawn to those who project confidence and independence. Cultivating self-reliance isn't about cutting people off. It's about fortifying yourself so that others are drawn to you for all the right reasons. This newfound independence generates a magnetic force that makes them realize they can no longer take your presence for granted. The jealousy of your renewed confidence. The third reason is the jealousy of your renewed confidence. Confidence is contagious, and when you enter a room fully aware of your worth, it's impossible to go unnoticed. When you distance yourself from someone who once had the upper hand and return with a self-assured demeanor, they can't help but observe the change. They might smile, but deep down, they envy the confidence you've cultivated, wishing they had it too. Confidence alters the power dynamic, making them crave the new self-assured version of you. As Ralph Waldo Emerson stated, self-trust is the first secret of success. When you have faith in yourself, you no longer need anyone's approval, and that's what makes you irresistible. The mystery of unpredictability. People are naturally drawn to what they can't foresee or fully understand. When you were always available and predictable, they didn't need to give you much thought. But now, with your new aura of mystery, they can't help but wonder what's changed. Unpredictability keeps people engaged because it disrupts the routine. They begin to think about you more, speculate about your changes, and anticipate your next move. This curiosity becomes an addictive draw, making them desire your presence in ways they never did before, the awakening of what they've let slip away. All right, everyone, let's dive into the fifth reason why someone will begin to long for your presence after you've given them some distance, coming to terms with what they've let slip away. This awakening strikes hard, because it's the moment when they finally grasp the depth of how much you meant to them and the full extent of what they've lost due to their neglect. Visualize this. You've put space between you and them, prioritizing your self-improvement and embracing your best life. Meanwhile, they continue with their routine, fully expecting you to remain in the background as before. But as the days lengthen into weeks, something shifts. They begin to feel the emptiness. No more messages, no more calls, no more you. At first they may dismiss it, thinking it's insignificant. However, in time, it begins to dawn on them. The gap left by your absence is undeniable. Out of the blue, they begin to realize all the subtle contributions you made that enriched their life. Perhaps it was your attentive ear when they needed it, the way you brought laughter, or how you were always a pillar of support. These small acts, once overlooked when you were constantly present, now stand out sharply. Here's a truth about loss. Often it's only through losing something that its true worth becomes clear. While you were consistently available, they didn't pause to consider what life might be like in your absence. But now, with the space you've created, they're forced to confront that reality, and the weight of it hits them hard. They begin to understand they were wrong to take you for granted. It's much like misplacing something precious. Initially, it might not seem like a big deal. But as time passes, you start to feel its absence more keenly, and regret not treating it with more care. The same pattern applies in relationships. When you withdraw, they begin to feel the emptiness you've left behind, and this recognition can be eye-opening. But this isn't just about them feeling bad for losing you. It's about coming to grips with the depth of what they've let go. They start replaying past memories, the joyful moments, your unwavering support, the happiness you brought, and it often results in deep regret. And here's where it gets interesting. Once they recognize what they've lost, they begin to yearn for it again, the connection, the reassurance that only you provided. However, they know it's not as simple as stepping back into your life. They understand that regaining a place in your world will require effort. Like the saying goes, you never know what you have until it's gone. They took you for granted, and now they're paying the price. So, how do you think people in your life will react once they realize what they've let go? Have you ever had someone return to your life after finally realizing your worth? Keep in mind that your value doesn't diminish simply because someone failed to notice it. By stepping back, you give them the chance to acknowledge what they've lost and fully comprehend how precious you really are. The pull to join your new path. Next, let's explore the sixth reason why they'll begin to crave your presence after you've distanced yourself. The irresistible desire to join your new journey. This happens when they see you evolve, witnessing you grow into a stronger, happier, and more complete version of yourself. Picture this. After taking a step back and focusing on your own growth, you've elevated yourself. You've taken on new challenges, discovered fresh passions, and begun to flourish in ways they never anticipated. From afar, they observe this transformation, It's like watching a flower bloom over time. Suddenly, you're no longer the same person they once knew. You've become someone fascinating, someone on a path that looks incredibly fulfilling. As they witness your progress, something shifts within them. They begin to realize they're missing out on this new chapter of your life. They see the positive changes you've embraced, the new experiences you're diving into, and they suddenly feel a powerful urge to be a part of it. It's like watching an exciting adventure unfold from the sidelines. No one enjoys feeling left behind. But this goes beyond just wanting to reconnect. It's a desire to be actively involved in your new reality. Your growth has become something they want to participate in. They start imagining how they could fit into this new version of your life, how they could share in your successes and be there for your next milestones. Yet they know they can't simply reappear in your life as if nothing has changed. They realize that you've moved forward, and if they wish to be part of this new chapter, they'll need to bring something substantial to the table. This understanding drives them to level up, to align themselves with the improved version of you. The fear of losing you to someone else. Finally, let's delve into the seventh and perhaps the most instinctive reason they'll begin to desire your presence after you've created distance: the fear of losing you to another. This one stings because it's driven by one of the strongest human emotions: fear. Specifically, the fear that someone else will recognize your immense value and sweep you away. Visualize this. You've pulled away, concentrated on your growth, and you're now thriving. You radiate confidence, independence, and fresh experiences. They see this transformation, and out of nowhere, fear strikes. What if someone else notices this incredible version of you? What if someone else steps in and treats you the way they should have? The thought of losing you to someone new creates a sense of urgency and panic within them. It's not just about losing you. It's about the dread that someone else will experience the best version of you, the version they took for granted. And let's face it, no one wants to watch someone they once cared for move on and find greater happiness with someone else. This fear becomes a powerful driver. It pushes them to reevaluate their past behavior and consider what they stand to lose if they don't make changes. The fear of being replaced ignites a deeper longing for your presence than ever before. So, have you ever had someone come back into your life out of fear of losing you to someone else? Keep in mind that by focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally create a sense of worth that others won't want to lose. That's when they realize they need to step up or risk losing you for good. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this exploration. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. The power to reshape your life is entirely in your hands. By embracing your self-worth and understanding the value you bring, you create a life that others will want to be part of. Keep moving forward, remain resilient, and never settle for anything less than you deserve. Your journey is just beginning, and I'm excited to see where it takes you. Stay amazing.